Greetings YouTube, Sega Zombie here and welcome to another Hit Squad video. As promised guys, I'm going to keep the Hit Squads, probably once a month we're going to do a Hit Squads pickups video. Here it is guys, in the Cassette City case, going for that full set. This is really going to be a mission guys. Got a few people to shout out and thank for doing me some fantastic deals. I've done a few trades and yeah, I'm still absolutely buzzing and loving the Spectrum. Oh, it's been absolutely brilliant. Still playing loads of games, loads more Spectrum videos to come. Also got a really big pickups video to film, loads to film and share with you guys. Just having the time at the moment. I've been really busy with my new job, training. It's been really in-depth and so much to learn, and to be quite honest, I've been coming home from work and I've been absolutely knackered. I really have been shattered. Oh, I need a sip of drink. Everyone's coming down with this horrible nasty head cold. I'm hoping I can avoid that, fingers crossed. But anyway, as always, I'm sidetracking here. We need to get down to these Hit Squad, and it's been, wow, some more fantastic games I've been playing on the good old Specky. First up, what I think I'm going to do is one of the people that has helped me the most over the last month or so, and got me the best bundle, I would say, well, the most titles, and that's a guy on Facebook, Ian Rayner. Now, he put a post up on Sinclair for sale, saying that he had a massive bundle of Hit Squad games, and he was trying to sell the whole bundle in one, as a lot of people do. You know, lots of people don't want the hassle of selling individually and all the posting. You know, we all know what it's like that have sold on the groups. So yeah, he was trying to sell the whole bundle. I put a cheeky comment in and said, look, if you do look to split, because someone had tagged me in it. I think it was Cy Owen that tagged me. Nice one, Cy has been tagging me in all the Hit Squad sales posts on Facebook, which has been brilliant. And yeah, it turns out I just left in comments, if you're willing to split, there's a number of titles I would like. So we got talking, and in Messenger he worked out a brilliant price, absolutely fantastic deal on a number of these games. I'll try and point them out as we go, but what I'm going to try and do is be organised, guys. I've organised these in movie, arcade and sport, and hopefully we'll have a bit of order to them, because as we go we want to start filling up these gaps. I just can't wait. I'm so buzzing over getting these Hit Squads. It's just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, plenty of stories to tell, plenty of memories to share, and yeah guys, go grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, a beer, a nice little snack, something like that, because we're going to delve and get our teeth into some real nostalgia again guys. So let's go. Massive shout out to Ian, thanks so much mate. And we've also got a few other great guys in the community that's helped me out. So first up, we're going to go with arcade. Why not? The first game we've got is Crazy Cars. Now, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, Sega Zombie on Instagram or Facebook, I've been posting up some cheeky screenshots and little memories of these games. So follow me on there, guys, if you can. And yeah, Crazy Cars. I used to love this game back in the day. It was the Hit Squad series that introduced me to this game. I can remember picking it up, and just the fact, even though it doesn't show it on the front there, it shows like a Mercedes and a Porsche. You could actually be a Lamborghini Countach, which was one of my favourite cars back in the 80s when I was growing up. I had Lamborghini posters on my bedroom wall. I was obsessed with Lamborghinis, and that sold it to me. I think a mate might have had this game, and I never knew what the name was, and I took a punt on this, and this, lo and behold, this was the game. Now, it plays really well, really nice graphics, smooth, and it got a really nice sense of speed. The only drawback to this game that today, you know, I don't know if I noticed it too much then. I was probably just drooling over being able to drive a Lamborghini. But yeah, there's not many other cars on the track. So you can drive quite a lot of distance without really coming into contact with anyone to overtake. You know, that lets it down a little bit, but apart from that, it runs so smooth and a great game. And this is arcade number 3, guys. So in it goes. Shrinking one of the gaps there. And then next up we have got a game that, wow, I had forgot all about this game. And it wasn't until I looked at the cover, loaded it in, and the memories. This game was massive back in the day, and that is Combat School. Kind of plays like Daley Thompson's Decathlon and all them type games, Hypersport, Track and Field. But the spin and originalness of this title is that you're going through combat training. You're going through army, like an army academy, and it's absolutely brilliant. I completely forgot about this game, and I loaded this up and I played it loads. I really like the variation in what you do. You've got rifle ranges, you've got chin-ups, you've got the assault courses. Absolutely fantastic. And I lost a good hour or so in this game. I really did. And it brought back so many memories. This was one of those games with me and my mates. It was just so competitive. And I can remember, like I've mentioned in previous videos, lots of my friends all had different systems. So my mates had it on the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, I had it on the Spectrum. And you found when you was playing these games that your mates were always better at it on their version, on their machine. And yeah, I was the best at it on the good old Spectrum. But yeah, it was a game we played so much back in the day. And this is arcade number 8. So again, we're going to fill a gap just below Arkanoid there. Absolutely buzzing with that game, and I'm going to play it lots more. I really did enjoy that. And sticking with the arcade games, we've got Head Over Heels. Now, I know this game is regarded as a massive classic on the Spectrum, but on all versions. It had a great port on conversion on all the 8-bit systems back in the day. And yeah, it is a classic, but I've mentioned this before. These isometric style puzzlers, I was never really any good at. Now, I've been told this is one of the best ones. I loaded it in, I gave it a blast, and yeah, I was lost straight away. I really didn't know what I was doing, but it's got lovely detailed sprites, graphics, and great music. Really, really solid little game, plays really well. But most of these Spectrum isometric games back in the day did. The one that sticks out to me is Night Law. That's the one I really remember, and the Batman game. I made myself like that Batman game. But this was done by the same guy, I believe. Head Over Heels. Absolutely fantastic little game if you're into that style. I will give this another blast. I definitely will. It's just back in the day I couldn't do it, and my brain just doesn't register these games very well. But yeah, I'm going to give this a go because it's just talked about so much on YouTube, and yeah, it's really highly regarded. So Head Over Heels is arcade number 12. So let's get that put away. Arcade number 12. See that I'm going to have to add up here what I've done. I've went and put Crazy Cars in sport, guys. So Crazy Cars number 3. Oh, what was I saying about being organised? Right, let's start again. Crazy Cars is in number 3, fills the gap there. Then we've got Head Over Heels, which is number 12. I've had to move the Vindicators because it was in the wrong position. So that's now where that rightfully belongs. We're getting there, guys. My goodness. Right, another game that's very dear to my heart. And as soon as I knew this game was released, I can remember going down to the arcades and being blown away by this game. Because, as you're going to see, guys, I absolutely worship and love the original. And that is Operation Thunderbolt. taking the concept, the whole idea and genre of Operation Wolf and giving it that 2-player. Now, this isn't everyone's favourite game, but I really love Operation Thunderbolt, and it played really, really well on the Spectrum. Loved the port, didn't disappoint me. Did I play it as much as Operation Wolf? Probably not. The reason behind that is by the time this game come out, I believe I had my Atari ST, so I was playing Operation Thunderbolt more on my Atari ST. Looked great, the 16-bit conversions of this game, but I did play it on the good old Specky, and I've been giving this a blast. I spent a whole afternoon actually playing Operation Wolf and Operation Thunderbolt on the Spectrum. Really enjoyed it. So much nostalgia, all those memories, just flooding back of old friends from years gone by. It really was great. And we've got Operation Thunderbolt Arcade 37. God, my eyesight's getting worse, guys. So Arcade 37, let's make sure we put it in the right category this time. One above Altered Beast. But it don't stop there, guys. We've got some more. Now, this one's got a little tail. I don't know why, but this is regarded as a really common game. And I think because I wasn't being very patient in getting this game, I've been looking on Sinclair for Sale, eBay, the usual places for this game to pop up. And it popped up on eBay. It was a best offer. I knocked the seller down a little bit, I believe, and lo and behold, I didn't clock who the seller was on eBay, to be honest. I didn't check, but it was no other than Paul Mr. Bads himself, and that game is Chase HQ. He sold me this on eBay for a great price, and this is Arcade Collection number 35. And do you know what? This game on the Spectrum, it's just bloody amazing to have the voice samples. Absolutely brilliant. It really did capture the whole arcade feel and made a game on its own right. It really did. It had such a unique feel to it, this game. And playing it again, I've not played Chase HQ on the Spectrum for many, many years. And I can remember my mate Zach back in the day. He was the only person I knew that could actually finish this game back in my little circle of friends back in the day. I can remember getting so frustrated. I spent hours trying to master this game. I really did. And I remember he totally owned the bragging rights back in the day on Chase HQ. But it doesn't stop there. The tale also with Paul Mr. Bads and how kind he's been. He has sent me, going back to Operation Wolf. There's a theme here. All my videos seem to go back to Operation Wolf, which is awesome for me. But he actually sent me this as a gift, and that is Operation Wolf, the original big box release on the Amiga. Really nice condition. Cine Steve sent me the Atari ST version. It's identical, guys, all but from the sticker, obviously. And yeah, it's just nice to add and have that little sub-collection of every single Operation Wolf release. One day, oh yes, it will be mine. I'm going to have every single game. There's going to be some challenges there as well. But thank you so much, Paul. Really appreciate that, mate. Absolutely chuff sick with that. And that's going to sit proud on my Operation Wolf shelf. Once I get that sorted out, I will show that off to you guys. I've got some big plans for that. So we'll leave Operation Wolf there. And yeah, so Chase HQ absolutely runs like a dream. It's real nice sense of speed. Brilliantly drawn. A really great game. Arcade number 35. So let's add that to the arcade section. So we've got 37, 34, 35. Goes right next to tubing. Absolutely are so pleased to get that early on, and like I said, it was a game that apparently is really common, but I couldn't find it when I wanted it, so that's what's crucial. And next up, another great classic arcade game, and I can remember being bullied off this as a kid. Yeah, the older teenage kids, or the late teenage kids back in the day in the arcades, they ruled this machine. It was very hard to get onto, and that is Power Drift. And I can remember so wanting this on the Spectrum when I heard it was getting a release in Your Sinclair or one of the magazines, CMVG at the time. I just couldn't wait. I was buzzing to get this game. And I can remember, I believe I got the big box release for a birthday present. And just being absolutely over the moon with it. It plays okay. Obviously, it was a big ask for such a highly advanced game for the time to run on the trusty old Spectrum in the 8-bits. But it's a solid conversion. And like I've said previous with Chase HQ, it's like a really good game on its own right. And it stands up well. I've really enjoyed it. I played quite a few races on this one. You've got all the content there. All what's important to the Power Drift game. Can get a little messy at times and a bit juddery, but hell, it's brilliant. You know, there's not many Sega conversions that held up really well on the 8-bits, and Power Drift is one of those. So that is arcade number 39, guys. So let's get that into the collection. That's going in between Altered Beast and Hard Drive and all. There's a nice little gap closing there. Excellent. So that's it of the arcade games. Back, we've only got one in this section, and that's a sports title and a game that I'd never played on the Spectrum. This game, probably for most of us, was known better for the Atari ST and predominantly the Amiga release of this game, and that is IK Plus. Now, I can remember my mate having this on the Spectrum. Not the Spectrum. My mate Zach had this on the Amstrad, and we played it loads on there. And I'm pretty certain I remember having Way of the Exploding Fist, Barbarian, and them type of games. But I never had IK Plus on the good old Specky. So I was really interested to load this game up and see what it's like, because I remember solely the Atari ST and the Amiga ports of this. And do you know what? This holds up really well. I had a heap of fun playing this. Really enjoyed it. A great little conversion on the Spectrum. Yeah, a really solid little port. Absolutely fantastic. There's not a lot else I can say about IK Plus, because all of you guys know what a fantastic little fighting game this is. Absolutely brilliant and one of the best. So really chuffed to put that into the collection. So that's sports number 8. So we fill a little gap there, boys. Have another sip of drink. Ooh. And then that moves us on to the movie releases. Now the movie releases, this first game, it doesn't hold very good memories for me, because I can remember just being bored. You know, our Spectrum, like I've said, was set up. We had like a lounge dining room, and it was in the dining section of that room there where we had the desk, and that's where the Spectrum was in the early days. And I can remember having to wait my turn, you know, being the young kid, and my dad and my mum and my uncle would dominate the Spectrum, you know, and I'd have to feed off the scraps. And a game that my uncle and my dad really got into, I think it was more my uncle, and that is The Great Escape. Well, to me back then, it didn't capture me, but I know it's supposed to be a really great adventure game for the time. But yeah, I can just remember waiting for him to get off this bloody game so I could play a bit of Death Chase, you know, or the games I wanted to play. But yeah, no, I used to sit there for a period of time enjoying it, and then just getting frustrated until it was my turn. But yeah, The Great Escape, I loaded it in. This one's off Lee Thornley. Great Lee. Lee has done me some fantastic deals on Hit Squad, and he's got me a whole bunch more of Hit Squads, which is holding on to for me, which I can't wait to get those. There's some killer titles in there. So yeah, The Great Escape. Like I said, not so much positive memories with that game, but one I've got to add to the collection, and that's movie number 6. So let's get this right, guys. I've got to go into the movies here, and that's above Miami Vice, which is a bit of a dog of a game. Next up, we go from a game that I didn't think much of to a game I absolutely adored. Again, an arcade classic, and one of my first experiences of actually getting inside a cockpit and sitting down playing a game. I can remember the early pole position, and this was around that time that I played it, and that is Star Wars. What an absolutely fantastic arcade game, and a fantastic port on Spectrum. It's all there, guys. Absolutely brilliant. Again, I played right the way through this. I loaded it in, and yeah, I was stuck on it. I was just playing it over and over. Lost quite a bit of the evening trying this one. I had great plans of getting through a number of Spectrum games, but this one dominated, and I really did enjoy it. And I've not played the Spectrum version for so long, and it was one of those games that me and my mates, we went back to. I can remember whenever I had a mate over for tea after school or at the weekend, we would always have a blast on Star Wars. What a fantastic game. And that is movie number 10. So I'm losing my bearings here, guys. Number 10, One Under Platoon. Look at that. Awesome. Next up, another movie game. Weird that they've put this one under movie, because it's not really based on a movie, but it is Batman the Caped Crusader. Now, I can remember getting this on the Spectrum, pretty late on in the Spectrum actually. I remember having the really lovely big box version of this, which came with the poster of that awesome artwork, and I can remember it was on my bedroom wall for years, that poster, right next to the Lamborghini ones. And and yeah, I absolutely loved that artwork, and I used to draw this. It's how I learned to draw Batman, actually, was from this fantastic cover. I used to just over and over again draw this picture. Real great memories of it. And I can remember in later life, as I got a bit older, when we moved house, before my room was decorated, my dad allowed me to paint on the walls, and I can remember painting that picture on my bedroom wall, like a massive mural of it. Wish I had a picture of that to see that back now, but yeah, so many great memories. And I can remember getting this late on in the Spectrum. Again, a game that I really wanted to love. Everything about this game is absolutely fantastic from a Batman fan's point of view back then, but I just couldn't. It was so hard and so cryptic, the puzzles. You know, it played a bit like Dizzy games, I suppose. You had to go and get certain items to get past certain rooms, unlock doors and things like that. And what was great about this game for the time is each side of the tape was a different game. One was the Penguin and the other one was the Riddler. Absolutely. I never really got far with this game, but I used to play it a lot. And then I'm sure it was that Christmas, we got the Atari ST. And I got this game with the Atari ST, so the Spectrum version kind of sat on the side, because this looked to me back then like a cartoon comic book graphics back on the Atari ST back then. And lots of memories with this game, and yeah, that is movie number 13, guys. So that sits nicely there. That was another one, by the way, off Lee Thornley. Cheers, Lee. And then, finally, with the movie section, we've got a game that I'm not that familiar with. And I was trying to think about this. I don't know if this is a game that I just can't remember, or because I was massively into film games. And this is a film I absolutely loved back in the day. Still love it today. Absolutely fantastic film. But I'm not that familiar with the game. It must have just passed me by, this game, and that is Total Recall. Even when I loaded it up, started playing it, it just wasn't that familiar, which is crazy. I really can't remember Total Recall at all, so there's not much nostalgia there, guys. But what a fantastic film. And the game actually plays okay. I had a bit of a blast on it. I weren't quite sure what I was doing. I was struggling with a few of the jumps, but it controls really nicely. Not a bad game at all. So yeah, I really don't know. It just must have been a game that passed me by back in the day, but I'm really glad to have it now and to add this one to the Hit Squad collection, and that's movie number 25, guys. So where are we? The movies. 22, 23, 24, 25. So that will go there. So starting to fill a big gap up there, boys. And that leads us on to the last game in this video, Pickup's Hit Squad video. And again, I've got to go back to Paul, Mr. Bads. We got chatting on Instagram Messenger. I thanked him so much for sending me. I didn't realise that it was him, and obviously I'd purchased Chase HQ off, and I thanked him for sending me Operation Wolf on the Amiga, which I was absolutely over the moon with that. And we got chatting away, and I showed him some of the doubles of the Hit Squads, because getting to an older age, you tend to buy the same games. I thought I was being really organised with the Hit Squad, and I've really tried not to buy the same games, but lo and behold, I've ended up with a few dupes. I sent a picture to Paul. There was a game there he needed, which was, I think it was Arkanoid, I can't remember, but there was a game he wanted. I sent that off to him, and he showed me a couple of games that he had doubles of, and that was Trivial Pursuit. I needed Trivial Pursuit. I'm not too familiar with this game. In general, to be quite honest, it wasn't a game we really played much. We was more of a Monopoly family and games like that. I did play this a few times, and yeah, I've never played the Spectrum version, but it's a Hit Squad title to add to get that full set. I know Pictionary is quite a tough one to get, but watch this space for that one, guys. But yeah, there's Trivial Pursuit, and this one doesn't have a category. So this is just a normal Hit Squad release. So that's going to have to sit on its lonesome. Up there for now, I think, boys. And there we go. There's what, another dozen Hit Squad games in the collection. Buzzing for the Spectrum. There's loads more videos planned, guys. I've had some more Spectrum games turn up, which has just been sending me into nostalgia overdrive. The memories just flooding in. So I'm going to film some more spectacular Spectrum videos. So keep an eye out for those. And until the next time, guys, I'm Sega Zombie. Goodbye.